Hi guys. Today I want to go over boss progression and use a really good example from an experience I had in the game Nine Souls. This experience highlights the mental state and subsequent learning experience against a tough boss. The boss's name is Celestial Enforcer Tievan, which is in the early to mid stages of Nine Souls. And here is what happened when I first encountered him. As you can see, I got annihilated and did no damage. Okay, well that's fine. Let's go back in there. Here is attempt 2. With this particular boss, it seemed fairly fast-paced, and I was having trouble reacting to everything going on. The 2 knives that he throws out seem easy enough to deflect against, but I'm getting distracted because he's also dropping bombs, those giant red wheel saws, and I'm also aware of the fact that he's shielded. I only dealt damage in the previous attempt because I managed to counter his special attack where he glows green. However, that's not going to happen frequently enough to win this fight. I need to break the shield. But attempt 3? Again, no damage. Let's see how attempt 4 goes. There it is, a shield break. It might have only happened once, and not at all in the 5th attempt, but it was definitely a milestone moment. Something interesting now happens over the next few attempts. Because I had a brief moment of success breaking the shield, and know that this is the solution, my mind is now fixated on it at the expense of everything else. My ability to dodge all his attacks now goes out the window because I'm too busy focusing on charging up the heavy attack required for the shield break. But then, on the 10th attempt, there is hope. Things start to click. I'm dodging more attacks and dealing more damage. But in my haste, I forget to even heal. This is by far the best attempt, and it set a new baseline of progression. But just like before, overconfidence sets in, coupled with maybe a little bit of bad luck, and the next few attempts are quite poor. On the brink of frustration, I suddenly remembered that I haven't optimized my jade skills for this boss. There is a jade which lowers the charge up time for the heavy attack. Why wasn't I using this from the start? Crazy. I now have a new advantage against the boss that I want to exploit. But like before, that over-eagerness works against me. I'm trying too hard to get heavy attacks and not concentrating on the boss's attacks. The next several attempts are a disaster. After this beating, I was starting to think it was time to just log off and try again another time. When frustration sets in, it's often best to do this. So we've now reached the 21st attempt. It's only due to the speed at which I'm losing, and that the boss run back time is fairly quick, that I've kept at it so long. Just a few more times, then we'll stop. But wait, that was a pretty good attempt. almost halfway that time. That's brought about a small confidence boost. I'll try a couple more times and see if I can actually get the boss past halfway now. From out of nowhere, everything has now clicked. I've discovered a technique that's bypassing having to dodge all the attacks. The best defense is a good offense, as they say. Finally, we get there, after 22 attempts. Okay, so it was actually 23. Before I started this video, I hadn't actually recorded the very first attempt, which is why you can see my ghost on the ground at the beginning of the first attempt. But I died so quickly there, it's not much worth of a mention. If we summarize how these attempts went, it looks like this. Notice the pattern. Periods of failure marked by steps forward, then sudden dominance at the end. At the start, there is always a bit of beginner's luck. After a few attempts, this wears off because your mind is no longer acting on instinct. It's now focusing on particular elements of the fight, each one being its own learning experience. But by focusing on particular things, others are neglected, causing further deaths. It is the small mastery, bit by bit, of each element of the fight where progress is made, even if you can't see it in each attempt. At a certain point, all elements work together and victory is achieved. We just need the perseverance to get to that point. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you found it interesting. Feel free to like and subscribe to help out the channel, and share your opinion in the comments section below. Till next time.